Hey everybody, welcome back for more Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo, one of my guilty pleasures, I guess. For the stage number 4, I guess we'll go with Zack, not that it really matters. I'm guessing the sewer stage was one of the harder stages. This one can be annoying too. Now, look at the model on Zack, that's ridiculous. He does kind of have that breakdancing theme going on. I mean, he was a funny character in the show. I don't really remember it that well because I haven't seen it in years. And there's a lot of shows that I tend to watch and rewatch. At least with some shows. I mean, things like Disney shows and like Pokemon or something. I can watch those any day of the week, and I will rewatch those on occasion. Like I'm going through sort of a Pokemon phase right now, and I actually want to do a Let's Play of a Pokemon game, but you know, everyone and their dead mother has done them before, so I don't really want to do them yet. I want to do something different with it, if I can. I'm not really sure that I'll be able to, but I might do a Pokemon game at some point. But for now, let's stick with my other nostalgia factor here, and that's the Power Rangers, of course. I'm not going to be too careful because my health will be refilled anyway when I transform into a Ranger, so let's just do it like this. Now you have to bust down the door with your fists because that's how Rangers roll. Guessing that's part of being a teenager with an attitude. You know, where I come from, we lock these kids up and, you know, put them in juvenile delinquent cells and whatever. Let's see, the laser thing is annoying. It's really throwing me off my game here. I like how the music in this game is actually a remix of many of the Power Rangers themes that were used in the show. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the show. There's some meat there if you need it. I guess I could use it because I did lose some health. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the show because I did watch the Power Rangers, but I didn't watch all of it. I only watched the show that was actually called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There were many, many seasons after that. It started with like Power Rangers Zeo, and then Power Rangers Turbo, and Power Rangers in Space, and whatever. I never watched any of that shit, you know. For me, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the very first series, that was the only good part of the show. I did watch, including to the point where they introduced Tommy the Green Ranger, who later became the White Ranger. Unfortunately, he's not playable in this game because he was always my favorite, the Green Ranger, because he had the Dragon Zord. And the Dragon Zord was always my favorite robot, you know, because it was a fucking dragon. What's not to like about dragons? Also, it was basically Godzilla in robot form, you know, again, because it was made in Japan for the most part, so I'm guessing, I talked about this a little bit in the first episode, but the only thing that they really replaced in the American version was all the bits of the show that weren't the Ranger fights. So I think it was, the city was called Angel Heights or Angel Grove or Angel Pine or something. That was recast and reshot, of course. Everything else was just used from the Japanese stock footage. So, you know, I guess I kind of appreciate what they did with it because it's probably not that easy to do. Because you have to adapt to the material that's already available to you, you know? You have to make sure that everything matches up at least a little bit. So, not to mention that it was filmed, the fights were filmed in Japan. And so, obviously they're taking place in Japanese locations. So when they're doing the non-Ranger stuff, it has to at least make some kind of sense. Now these red putties there, they'll actually throw shit at you. I think they're actually the first of their kind to do so. Most putties will just kind of hop back and try to stab you with a dagger. But every stage has like a unique kind of enemy that will try to hit you with a different kind of attack. I think there was putties with a ball and chain in the second stage. I didn't really mention them, but they're not overly threatening or anything. Now, in any action game, there has to be an elevator sequence. You know, that's just the way of things. You can destroy those. It's not really worth doing. And it's more trouble than it's worth. You're best off just trying to avoid them as best you can. It's not a long sequence anyway. At some point, there's probably gonna be some enemies that try to kill you. Aw, I got hit there. I wanted to get through this without being hit. I think we'll start smoking. You might think you're doing something wrong, but it's not really. It's just the end of the stage. And from here, just grab onto that. I think if you don't jump, it'll do it automatically. It's very, very hard to actually die in this game. Certainly possible. It's pretty tricky. You can kill those enemies. Again, not really worth it. In this stage, it's best if you just quickly move from platform to platform. I think you can just jump on this one here. You can ignore those enemies for the most part. You can kill them if you want to with a few jumping attacks, but I'm guessing it's fun. You have to kill something anyway, right? Let's see, the next part. As always, I'm going to save the bomb for the boss battle because that's just what I like doing. Now, these putties will once again start throwing their knives at you, but they're not incredibly dangerous, so you can actually throw them into the pit if you try. Most of the time, it's easier to just not bother. Now here there will be steel beams falling. They can hit the putties, so you'll just want to position yourself in a spot where they're not going to be able to hit you, like all the way at the edge of the screen here. And then you can just kill them like that. I think I should have gotten hit there, but I didn't. That's the case of the game. What's this? A bomb? I guess I might as well show you the Mastodon Rock Power! Actually, it's probably a rock slide if you compare it to Pokemon. I was talking about that anyway. It's kind of like a rock slide, and then the Jason's one with the fire, that was probably like... I'm guessing I could compare it to like Eruption or something. Then Billy's with the ice, that was probably Blizzard. And then Trini's with the electricity was likely Thunder then. But yeah, anyway, as when I was a kid, my favorite Power Ranger was always Jason, because he was the Red Ranger, and red was one of my favorite colors. But then Tommy came, and he was the Green Ranger, and he was very powerful, so he was always my favorite. Now, this is the first, and I think the only stage that introduces a mid-boss. It really doesn't do anything special. It just shoots some lasers at you. You can jump over them, but they don't do much damage, so... I'm guessing you just want to focus on dealing as much damage as you can. You'll have it dead in no time. That thing is evil because it can knock you into the pit, and then you die. So you want to avoid that. Other than that, there's not really much that can go wrong. You just attack them, see what goes. And I think we're already at the boss. I'm not entirely sure, but we should be here. Yes, we are. I don't remember what this guy does exactly. I think he throws, like, knives at you and shit. Yeah. I don't know what those do. I think they create, like, lasers or something? I think at some point he also will start, throwing different attacks at you. I'm not really sure what they do, but if you can hit him right as he appears, he won't even be able to use his attacks. So... Oh, he's already dead. I wanted to use a bomb on him. I thought he might have had, like, a second former or something. I don't know. Can't even use it. Well, that was the easiest boss. I couldn't even finish him with the bomb. Oh, well. Password 1970. That's a good year. Good vintage. I guess I'll see you in the next episode, when we take care of the last normal stage in the game. So... thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.